What if the changes that shape your life in 2026 don't arrive loudly, but begin quietly through the small choices you repeat every day? Welcome to the Gentle English Podcast, where we speak slowly, clearly, and kindly so you can relax, listen, and improve your English while also taking care of your mind. Today, let's talk about simple but effective steps to change your life in 2026, not in a loud or stressful way, but in a gentle and realistic way that you can actually continue. Many people think changing their life means changing everything at once. They think they need a new job, a new body, a new personality, or a perfect routine that starts on January 1st and never fails. But most people who try that feel tired very quickly. They feel disappointed when they miss one day, and slowly they return to old habits. Real change does not happen like a strong wind. It happens like sunlight, quietly, every day, even when you are not watching. The first thing to understand is that your life in 2026 will not change because of motivation alone. Motivation is emotional, and emotions change every day. Some days you feel excited, some days you feel tired, and some days you feel nothing at all. If your life depends only on motivation, then your progress will stop whenever your feelings change. That is why gentle change focuses more on direction than on speed. Even slow steps are powerful when they are taken again and again. Think about how you usually start a new year. Maybe you promise yourself to wake up early, exercise every day, stop bad habits, learn something new, and become more confident. These goals sound good, but they are often too heavy. Your mind feels pressure, and pressure creates fear. Fear makes you avoid the very things you want to do. Instead of asking yourself how to change your whole life, a better question is, how can I make my days a little better than before? One simple but effective step is learning how to start your day with intention instead of reaction. Many people wake up and immediately check their phone. Messages, news, videos, and social media enter the mind before the day even begins. The brain becomes busy, noisy, and tired very early. When this happens every day, life feels rushed even when nothing urgent is happening. In 2026, you can change your life by changing the first 10 minutes of your morning. You do not need a perfect morning routine. You do not need to wake up at 5 in the morning or meditate for 1 hour. You only need to create a small space between waking up and consuming information. This space is where calm begins. You can sit on your bed, take a few slow breaths, and ask yourself a gentle question like, what kind of day do I want to have? This question does not need an answer. It only reminds your mind that you have a choice. Another powerful step is learning how to speak to yourself with kindness. The voice inside your head follows you everywhere. It speaks when you make mistakes, when you feel tired, and when you compare yourself to others. For many people, this voice is very harsh. It says things like, you are lazy, you are not good enough, or you always fail. If another person spoke to you like this, you would feel hurt. But when the voice comes from inside, it feels normal, even though it slowly damages your confidence. Changing your life in 2026 means changing this inner conversation. This does not mean you must always be positive or happy. It means you learn to be fair and gentle with yourself. When you make a mistake, instead of saying, I am useless, you can say, I am learning. When you feel tired, instead of saying, I am weak, you can say, I need rest. These small changes in language may feel simple, but language shapes thought, and thought shapes action. Another simple step is learning how to protect your energy. Energy is not only physical, it is also mental and emotional. You may notice that some conversations leave you feeling tired, confused, or angry even when nothing bad happened. Some habits, like scrolling for a long time or overthinking at night, quietly drain your energy. When your energy is low, even small tasks feel heavy, and life feels harder than it needs to be. In 2026, changing your life may begin with noticing what takes your energy away and gently reducing it. You do not need to cut people out of your life or make dramatic decisions. You can start by setting small boundaries. Maybe you reply later instead of immediately. Maybe you stop explaining yourself too much. Maybe you give yourself permission to rest without guilt. These small actions send a message to your mind that your well-being matters. One of the most effective steps you can take is learning how to focus on what you can control. Many people spend a lot of mental energy worrying about things they cannot change, like the past, other people's opinions, or the future far away. This worry feels busy, but it does not create progress. It only creates stress. When you learn to bring your attention back to what is in your control, life feels simpler and calmer. What can you control today? You can control how you speak. You can control how you respond. You can control whether you take one small step or not. You cannot control how fast results come, but you can control whether you show up again tomorrow. This mindset is very important for real change. When you stop fighting what you cannot control, you save energy for what truly matters. Another gentle but powerful step is building trust with yourself. Many people do not trust themselves because they have broken promises to themselves many times. They planned, they started, and they stopped. Over time, the mind learns not to believe its own plans. To rebuild trust, you must start very small. Choose actions that are easy to keep even on tired days. If you say you will listen to English for 5 minutes, do 5 minutes. If you say you will walk for 10 minutes, do 10 minutes. Keeping small promises is better than breaking big ones. As you listen to this podcast, remember that improving your English is already one example of gentle change. You are choosing to learn, to listen, and to grow without pressure. This same approach can be used in every area of your life. You do not need to rush. You do not need to compare yourself to others. You only need to continue. 2026 does not need to be perfect. It only needs to be intentional. When you choose simple steps and repeat them with patience, your life slowly begins to feel different. You may not notice the change at first, but one day you will look back and realize that you think more clearly, you react more calmly, and you trust yourself more than before. That is real change, and it lasts. As we continue together, let's stay in this calm space and move a little deeper into what truly creates change. Because changing your life in 2026 is not about becoming someone else. It is about becoming more honest with yourself and more patient with the process. Many people feel stuck not because they are incapable, but because they are overwhelmed by expectations, both from others and from themselves. When expectations are too high, even good progress feels like failure, and slowly people stop trying. One gentle but effective step is learning how to simplify your goals. Instead of asking yourself to do many things at once, you can choose one direction and allow other things to follow naturally. When life feels messy, the mind looks for control, and control often comes from clarity. Clarity does not mean knowing everything. It means knowing what matters most right now. In 2026, your life can change simply by deciding what deserves your attention and what does not. Many people spend years doing things that no longer feel meaningful just because they started them a long time ago. They stay in routines, habits, or even relationships out of fear of change, not because these things help them grow. Gentle change does not require sudden endings. It only asks you to be honest. You can ask yourself simple questions like, does this give me energy or does it drain me? Does this help me become the person I want to be, or does it keep me stuck in the past? These questions are not meant to judge, they are meant to guide. Another important step is learning how to slow down your thinking. Many people live with a busy mind even when their body is resting. Thoughts jump from one worry to another, from the past to the future, without pause. This mental noise makes it hard to feel peace, even during quiet moments. Changing your life in 2026 means learning how to create small moments of mental silence, not by forcing your thoughts to stop, but by gently bringing your attention back to the present. You can do this while walking, while eating, or even while listening to this podcast. You can notice your breath, the sound of your surroundings, or the feeling of your body sitting or standing. When the mind goes somewhere else, you gently bring it back again and again. This practice may seem small, but over time, it teaches your mind that it does not need to rush all the time. A calmer mind leads to better decisions, and better decisions slowly shape a better life. Another simple but powerful step is learning how to accept discomfort. Many people believe that a good life is a comfortable life, but real growth often feels uncomfortable at first. Learning something new, changing habits, or setting boundaries can feel strange, awkward, or even scary. When discomfort appears, the natural reaction is to avoid it. But avoidance keeps life the same. Acceptance allows life to move forward. Acceptance does not mean enjoying discomfort. It means understanding that discomfort is not danger. When you feel nervous before speaking English, when you feel unsure about a new habit, or when you feel tired while changing your routine, you can remind yourself that this feeling is temporary. It is a sign that something new is happening. In 2026, your life can change if you stop running away from discomfort and instead walk with it gently. Another step that often changes everything is learning how to be consistent instead of intense. Intensity feels exciting, but it does not last. Consistency feels boring, but it builds results. Many people wait to feel ready before they act, but readiness often comes after action, not before. When you show up even when you feel unsure, tired, or unmotivated, you teach yourself that progress does not depend on perfect conditions. Think about learning English. Some days you feel focused, and some days you feel distracted. If you only practice on good days, progress will be slow. But if you practice gently even on bad days, progress becomes natural. This idea applies to everything. Health, confidence, learning, and even happiness grow through small, repeated actions. In 2026, your life will change not because of one big moment, but because of many small moments that you chose not to skip. Another gentle step is learning how to forgive yourself. Many people carry guilt from the past. They remember mistakes, missed chances, or times when they did not try hard enough. This guilt becomes heavy, and it pulls attention away from the present. When you live in regret, you live in a place that cannot be changed. Forgiveness is not about forgetting the past. It is about freeing yourself from it. You can forgive yourself by recognizing that you did the best you could with what you knew at the time. You can choose to learn instead of punish. When you forgive yourself, you create emotional space for growth. Without forgiveness, change feels like pressure. With forgiveness, change feels like care. In 2026, caring for yourself is not weakness, it is wisdom. Another effective step is learning how to create a supportive environment. Your environment shapes your behavior more than motivation does. If your space is full of distractions, it is harder to focus. If your time is always filled with noise, it is harder to reflect. You do not need to change your whole environment. You can start with one small area, a clean table, a quiet corner, or a specific time of day that is just for you. When your environment supports you, good habits become easier. When habits become easier, you stop fighting yourself. Life becomes less about discipline and more about flow. In 2026, your life can change when you stop relying only on willpower and start designing your days in a way that feels gentle and supportive. Another important step is learning how to listen to your body. Many people ignore tiredness, hunger, and stress until the body forces them to stop. The body speaks quietly at first. It asks for rest, movement, water, or sleep. When these messages are ignored, the body speaks louder through pain or illness. Gentle change means learning to listen early. Listening to your body does not mean doing nothing. It means doing what truly helps. Sometimes that means resting. Sometimes that means moving. Sometimes that means saying no. When you respect your body, your energy becomes more stable. When your energy is stable, life feels more manageable. As we move closer to the end of this part, remember that change does not need to be dramatic to be real. Quiet changes are often the most powerful. A calmer mind, kinder self-talk, consistent effort, and honest reflection slowly create a life that feels lighter and more meaningful. By now, you may notice that real change does not come from doing more, but from doing things differently, with more awareness and kindness towards yourself. One of the most important steps in changing your life in 2026 is learning how to let go of comparison. Many people measure their life by looking at others. They see achievements, confidence, happiness, or success, and they quietly feel behind. Comparison steals peace because it focuses on someone else's path instead of your own. Everyone starts in a different place, with different experiences, strengths, and struggles. When you compare, you forget your own progress. Letting go of comparison does not mean ignoring others. It means understanding that someone else's success does not reduce your chances. Your life is not a race. It is a journey that moves at its own pace. When you focus on your own steps, even small ones, you begin to feel grounded. In 2026, your life can change when you stop asking, "Why am I not there yet?" and start asking, "What is one step I can take today?" Another gentle but powerful step is learning how to trust time. Many people want fast results. They want to feel different quickly, but meaningful change takes time to settle. Just like learning a language, you may not notice improvement every day, but one day you realize you understand more, speak more easily, and feel more confident. Life works the same way. Progress is often invisible until it becomes natural. Trusting time means continuing even when results are quiet. It means staying patient when growth feels slow. When you trust time, you stop forcing outcomes and start focusing on process. This reduces stress and increases consistency. In 2026, your life can change when you allow things to grow at a natural pace instead of rushing them. Another important step is learning how to create meaning in ordinary days. Many people wait for big events to feel happy or fulfilled. They think life will start when something exciting happens. But most of life is made of normal days. When you learn to find value in simple moments like a calm morning, a good conversation, or a quiet walk, life feels fuller. Meaning does not always come from achievement, it often comes from presence. When you are present, you experience life instead of rushing through it. You notice small joys that were always there. In 2026, your life can change when you stop waiting for the perfect moment and start appreciating the moments you already have. Another gentle step is learning how to align your actions with your values. Values are what truly matter to you, not what others expect. When your actions match your values, life feels more peaceful even when it is challenging. When they do not match, you feel tension inside. Many people feel unhappy not because their life is bad, but because they are living in a way that does not feel true to them. You can explore your values by asking yourself simple questions. What kind of person do I want to be? What do I want my days to feel like? What matters more to me than approval or comfort? You do not need perfect answers. Clarity comes slowly. When you begin to make small choices that reflect your values, your life starts to feel more aligned and meaningful. Another powerful step is learning how to end your days with reflection instead of regret. Many people go to sleep thinking about what they did wrong or what they did not finish. This habit trains the mind to focus on lack. Instead, you can gently reflect on one thing you did well, one thing you learned, or one moment you appreciated. This simple practice shifts your mindset over time. Ending your day this way helps your mind rest. It also builds self-trust and confidence. When you recognize your effort, even when the day was difficult, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of growth. In 2026, your life can change when your days begin and end with intention instead of self-criticism. As we come close to the end of this episode, remember that you do not need to change everything to change your life. You only need to choose awareness over autopilot, kindness over harshness, and consistency over perfection. These choices, repeated gently, create a life that feels calmer and more meaningful. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where you need to be to begin. Let 2026 be the year you stop fighting yourself and start walking with yourself, one quiet step at a time. Thank you for listening to the Gentle English Podcast. Take a slow breath. Carry one gentle idea with you today, and remember that real change grows quietly, and it begins with you.